Florida at Kentucky. This is Saturday college basketball. We're doing this wise guy style. What's your number?
Okay, I made Kentucky a 9.5-point home favorite. Set the total at 136.
Where do you perceive the value is going to come in?
I see the value on the favorite here on the home team, and I'm not one that backs too many favorites, but I think they're going to bring this line out a lot lower. I've been saying it. I've said it here on video, and I've said it all year. This Florida team is overrated. Nothing backs that up more than their 9-13 ATS mark for the year.
And really, a spread is the expectation.
Exactly.
If you look at the ATS over the course of a season, it's have they exceeded or fell short of expectation. All right, so why, it sounds like Florida is the side that you feel stronger about in regards to thinking that there's a misperception. Why is there such a misperception?
They're 21-5, and yet they had such an easy schedule. 113th in the nation non-conference schedule. Kentucky, on the other side, no one's talking about this team because they're 19-8, and they're just stuck there in the middle in the SEC. But I think come tournament time, this is the kind of team that could surprise and go places. They had a tough schedule, strength of schedule.
So let me jump in. So really, back to the whole what's home court worth, let's assume 5 for Kentucky. You're saying you think Kentucky's 4.5 points better.
True. Yeah.
All
right.
right.
I think Kentucky's home court is 5.5.
All right.
I'd say 5.5. I think Kentucky's a lot better than this fake Florida team. I'm telling you, you make money fading Florida.
That's alliteration. Fake Florida. Fake Florida. You can keep saying it.
And Kentucky would be one of them places that you could compare to a Duke as far as home court. Even go a little higher. They don't lose at home. They're undefeated again this year.
And this is national TV too.
Exactly.
Which we always talk about. National TV heightens the crowd even more.
Exactly.
All right,
and there's just no respect given to this Kentucky team. And Florida already beat them earlier in the season, beat them by 2 in Florida, okay? I think the odds makers are going to bring this line out a lot lower than my true line, knowing that's the only way they're going to get balanced, because bettors are going to be looking to fade Kentucky and find reasons to back Florida. But again, I'm telling you, this Florida team is fake. When you see that first game, all right, they shot 82% from the free throw line, went to the free throw line almost 8 or 9 times more than Kentucky did, okay? And when you look at how they shoot free throws for the season, they're one of the worst teams in college basketball. But for some reason that day, they were lights out from the free throw line. Otherwise, they would have lost that game at home. I think going into Kentucky, they're going to be overwhelmed. I see Kentucky double-digit win, coasting easily, making their mark and beating Florida.
All right, so usually there's 3 major categories that you can find value. One is an overrating, underrating of the teams. Sometimes it might be one team's right, one team's way off, or both teams are way off, or partially off. You think in this case it sounds like we've got an overrated team against an underrated team. That adds up to a lot of value.
That's why I think that there's going to be a ton of value come Saturday. And when you really just dig in there, this Kentucky team's one of the younger teams in the country, if not the youngest.
Which in college basketball, as we've talked about a lot, the average career for a really good player is 1 or 2 years. Thus, as you get into the last 5th or last 6th of their first year, it's almost like the last 6th of their career, is they went from no games at the beginning to 30 games, and there's a lot of trending with that.
Exactly, especially since they're a very up-tempo team. And I think it takes time to gel more if you're younger. If you haven't played with each other as much. Florida loves to walk it up. They're just one of those teams that use their size. The only difference is Kentucky has a tall team as well. So they're not going to be able to do that come Saturday. And if Kentucky runs the ball like they're capable of doing, Florida's just going to be out of their element. They're going to be in a tough place. And I think this is going to provide a lot of value for us come Saturday. I really think this is the one game that my true line is going to be way off from what they throw out there. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right. So at what point do you play, let's get the exact number, at what point do you play Kentucky up to?
9. No. That's how much I feel comfortable laying up to 7 with them.
7.
Yeah. 6. I think I won't have to lay more than 6.
All right.
But
so here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to agree up to 5. So if
Wow.
it comes out above 5, because I don't like it, but if you actually do get 4.5 points of value, I can't buck VR with 4.5 points. But at 3.5,
No.
no. All right, so we got that down here. Okay, now let me finish a point and then I'll let you close. There's 3 ways to have value. 1 is overrated, underrated. We talked about that. 2 is situationally. One team's tired. One team's looking ahead. One team's whatever. And lastly, there's X's and O's, and you touched on that a little bit. A fast team versus a walk-it-up team. So really, any of those 3 factors can add up to equal value. In this case, so a vast majority of it's coming from the perceived overrated, underrated teams.
Agree.
Anything else?
Agree. That's about it. I just, like I said, this game really stuck out. I just looked at Kentucky right away and said they're going to bring out this number lower than they should. Last point, Florida's playing tonight. Kentucky has that extra day of rest.
So Florida's playing Thursday.
Exactly, where Kentucky doesn't play today. They have that extra day to prepare. Every little bit helps. So just wanted to throw that out there as well.
And plus, they're at home.
Exactly.
So now you got a team playing. Now, to me, that's a situational edge. You've got 2 days of rest and going on the road versus Kentucky played Wednesday.
Yeah.
3 days of rest at home. Big difference.
Exactly.
All right, it's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with VR and me. That's it for VR this week. Remember, you can get all of our videos at pregame.tv, and we'll be back early next week with more from VR. See you then.